Hello. One of the objectives of Chapter 4 is to recognize the critical need to evaluate the structure and functioning of supply chain networks and for making changes and improvements as appropriate. Let's take a few minutes and look at the types of network configuration, also known as network topologies, that one may find with logistics and supply chain. There are several types of transportation network topologies. The star, or the hub and spoke topology, is what we typically see at Tampa International Airport. The ring topology is one that we see in a freeway that surrounds the outer edge of a city, commonly known as Beltway, which we find in Washington, D.C. or Houston, Texas, for example. A fully connected network is what you would see in a map of a city or a freeway system in the United States. The last transportation network topology that we will see is the tree topology, which is made up of nodes and arc. The importance here is that this topology is used to typically represent a supply chain. For example, we see here a multi-echelon supply chain, which is represented as a tree topology. This is the same supply chain that you'll see in your text on page 108, figure 4.4. This is the simplest representation of a supply chain. However, life is rarely that simple. The reality is that many companies compete for common scarce supply chain resources, requiring a more complex supply chain. Oftentimes, these resources are shared by many companies, and the supply chain now becomes a hybrid configuration of tree and fully connected network topologies. Here we have an example of two local companies, Jabil and Tech Data, whose resources are shared by two major competitors. In conclusion, considering the increasing dynamic aspects of today's business world, companies are continuously seeking new and improved approaches to transportation network design and operations.